thank you very much for your testimony and again for your commitment to this issue. I think you're aware we had a meeting last week off the Senate floor. We talked a little bit about some of our concerns with the current tip office. And I realize there's no one there in your position, and there hasn't been anyone there since November of 2014. But the tip report tier rankings are reviewed and differences adjudicated at the undersecretary level, as we understand it, and ultimately by the Secretary of State. What's your understanding of the tip office director in that process?
Well, my understanding is that the tip office director, the position that I'm being considered for, is the person who first marshals with the office staff all of the facts from the field, who spends the year engaging our missions, the State Department's bureaus, citizens, and non-governmental organizations all report in facts to that office. Then the ambassador, the director of the office, advocates for the role that the tip office believes and the rankings the tip office believes those facts dictate.
And you'll commit to assuring that that the integrity of that process is there. I'll just put it that way.
Yes, Senator.
In this role. What are some of the kind of things that you think can sometimes come into play to keep those tip rankings from being what they should be?
Well, I haven't been part of the process yet,
yeah.
So I'm kind of watching from the sidelines. I don't want to be a Monday morning quarterback and critique the team on Sunday. But I certainly can commit to you that I will do my best to ensure the integrity of the report and to let people higher up at the department know that that report needs to be based on facts to uphold its integrity.
Yeah. It's our understanding that over time there's been a good deal of attrition in the office, I guess possibly due to lack of focus and lack of leadership. Obviously you'll change that hugely when you assume that role. Can you tell us a little bit about what your commitment is internally in the office in assuming this position?
Senator, as part of the nomination process, I have met with the individuals who work in that office, and I am very impressed by their dedication to the fight against human trafficking. They work hard and they care deeply about the issue. And I hope to be a good leader to them and a good champion for their report, and I look forward to working with the individuals who are there.
One of the things we all do, I had dinner with Senator Perdue last week, and we were talking about the fact that, you know, just the experience of being in other countries over a period of time ends up creating a body of knowledge that is second to none. I mean, it's amazing, I think, what all of us have learned by going to other parts of the world, understanding culture, seeing what's happening there. It's my understanding that the tip office has had a limited travel budget, and because of constraints, many of their officers aren't out doing those things, and obviously that affects things in a big way. I just wonder what your take on that is and what your commitment to people getting out and seeing on the ground firsthand what is happening.
Well, I do think it's very important to get into countries, particularly ones that are in a position to make a difference if they have a visit from U.S. officials. And I'm committed to going to countries and doing that, and I do believe that meeting people face to face and building those relationships, working not just with governments but with citizens and non-governmental organizations in the country who frequently supply information to the tip office, meeting those individuals so that they know they have an avenue of communication to reporting facts in the field as well is very important. And I think I'm well situated, having been on the front lines in prosecuting these cases myself, to talk to people about the hurdles and the obstacles and suggest ways that we've overcome them here in the United States. And I look forward to doing that in the field.
And what is your understanding of how the action plans for each country is developed?
Senator, my understanding is with the recommendations that are in the TIP report that everyone can read, that those recommendations form the basis of the action plans for the countries. And the U.S. is certainly encouraging other countries to meet those goals and those suggestions in the TIP report to increase their rankings.
Mm-hmm. Will you commit to working closely with us on the committee and making us aware if at any time you feel other forces are at work which are keeping your voice from being heard, and the primary reason that you're assuming this job is being mitigated because of other forces? Will you work with us in that regard and ensure that that is not the case?
Senator Corker, I look forward to working with this committee because there are so many members on it who are passionate and dedicated to the fight against trafficking. I look forward to open communications with this committee.
Well, listen, before I turn to Senator Cardin, I just want to say again, to have someone who, like most of us here, know individuals, have met individuals, have defended individuals, have caused justice to come about for individuals, assuming this role certainly is something that's good for our country and great for those who, again, don't have today access to justice. And I hope you'll take the same commitment, I think you will, relative to what you did in the case you described earlier. I hope you'll maintain that and carry that with you to the State Department as you assume this position. And I want to thank you for your willingness. I want to thank your family for their willingness. I understand they may actually move to Washington if you assume this role. We thank them in particular for that. And with that, I'll turn to Ranking Member Cardin.